friends, happy spring. Today, we are going to do some cooking. This is something we would do in class if I had kids in class right now. But because we're home, we're having to find some things that you can do from home. And this is an easy one. To celebrate spring, I read you the book, The Earthworm's Life, or An Earthworm's Life. Okay, you can find this book when the library's open. You can get this book at the library, or you can tune in and watch me read it. A couple other books that I love about worms. This one's called Wonderful Worms, and it's about the life of earthworms. And this one is for kids a little bit older. It's called The Diary of a Worm, and it's pretty funny. So those are some books about worms. So today, we're gonna make dirt that you can eat. To make the dirt, you're gonna need some milk, some sandwich cookies like Oreos, a package of chocolate pudding, a bowl or measuring cup that you can measure into, and then if you have small measuring cups, you'll need a bowl to mix the pudding in. A wire whisk, a big spoon, something heavy that you can use. It can be, I'm going to use a rolling pin, but you could use a heavy wooden block, or you could use a big heavy book, anything heavy, and you'll find out why in a minute. And then some small cups to serve in. All right, are you ready to go? Okay, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to make the pudding. Oh, I forgot to mention, you also need gummy worms. We're going to make the pudding. So you have to read the directions on the box. You'll have to have mom and dad help you. And I want to remind you, anytime you're going to cook, you need to ask mom and dad first and make sure it's okay with them. They'll have to make sure that you have the ingredients, and they'll need to help you read directions for things that you need to follow the directions for. So for my pudding, it says to pour 3 cups of cold milk into a bowl and then add the mix and beat it until it's well blended with the wire whisk. So I happen to have a measuring cup that is large enough to measure into and to mix in. So I'm going to just use that. Otherwise, you would use a measuring cup and measure it into a bowl. So I'm going to pour 3 cups of milk. There we go. All right. And I want you to imagine if you were doing this with me, when I open this chocolate pudding mix, what is it going to smell like? This is one of my favorite smells in the whole world. We're gonna pour the pudding mix into the milk. Then we're gonna use the wire whisk to mix the pudding. You have to stir it really, really well. Get it off the sides. If you're doing this on your own, you might want to have a brother or sister or mom and dad who can help you, because you might need to take turns stirring it. But the nice thing about pudding is it's really hard to mess up. And I'm getting pudding everywhere. Okay, you got to keep stirring the pudding. You got to stir it for a while, because what's going to happen is it's going to start off really liquidy. And as you stir it, it's going to start getting thicker and thicker. Every now and then I want to scrape it off the sides. Can you imagine us in class? We would all be taking turns doing this so that everybody have a turn to mix pudding. The main thing I'm looking for as I stir it is I want to make sure I get all of the little dry pieces of pudding mix mixed in. So I have to stir it long enough that it's just liquidy, soft pudding. All right, once you get this all mixed, while you do the other steps, put the pudding into the refrigerator, and that'll make it nice and cold, and it'll help it to set. All right, but I'm gonna put mine aside for a few minutes. It won't be quite as thick set as it will be if you put it in the refrigerator. All right, the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take some of these yummy Oreos out of the package. Do you like to eat Oreos? They go fast in my house. So I'm gonna put some Oreos in a bag. All right, and here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna use the heavy object. I'm gonna use my rolling pin. If you have a wooden block or a book, you could use that. And we're gonna take it and we're gonna crush the cookies up. It's gonna be loud and noisy. We're gonna keep banging them until they're all crushed into fine little bits. Where the cream sticks on the sides of the bag, you just want to kind of pinch it and get it off the edges of the bag, and you mix it in, and then we're gonna keep crushing. All right, if I was doing this in class, we did this a little bit longer. You get the idea. You're gonna keep crushing the cookies until all you have are just cookie crumbs. All right, we're gonna pour those into a bowl so you can see what it looks like. What do you think? Does that look like the dirt that an earthworm would live in? I think that's exactly what it looks like, but it's a little more delicious. If you were here with me, you'd be able to smell the chocolate in the chocolate cookies. All right, but it looks like pieces of dirt. So the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna take our ingredients. We're gonna take our chocolate pudding, and we're gonna take our cookie dirt. This is supposed to be mud. This is supposed to be dirt. And we're gonna take our little worms and we're gonna assemble our dirt cups. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna put a scoop of the mud in the bottom. All right, there's the mud. The next thing you're gonna do is put a scoop of dirt on top of that. And then you can take and put some worms down in your mud. Okay, and when you get done, you can either put these in the refrigerator to serve later, but you know what I like to do right away? I like to get my spoon and my cup of dirt, and I like to eat dirt. You should make some dirt and eat dirt with me.